Se muestra que esta nueva manera de hacer medicina a través de la risa y del amor produce cambios más importantes o tan importantes como los que producen los remedios o las operaciones. ¿Cómo llegó usted a esa conclusión y cómo vio eso empíricamente?
Well, first, again, I must correct the language we are using. It's not new. It is only this dominant culture loving money and power who's completely ignorant of love and humor and compassion that thinks it is new. Whatever I have done in medicine was done to me by my mother. She was a school teacher who loved me and was fun. So it had nothing to do with new. It had to do with feminine power. I am nothing as a man except as my mother made me. That has to be heard. It has to be heard. We have to stop hitting and hurting women and children. We have to. There's no hope without it. So all I did, when I was in medical school, there were no women in medicine. Men had power to prevent women from going into medicine, so I had to be a fake woman. I kind of look a little like one. Women wear colorful clothes, have long hair, and are friendly. So I was an infiltrator of my mother in my body, like a possession. Because what my mother did, and maybe your mother did, was that she made me. And so when I saw the injustice and the wrong behavior of arrogant, egotistical doctors who thought they had more power over the nurse and the technician and the parents and the children, I knew they were wrong. And I can give my 34 years in medicine is a constant story of that wrong and the constant truth of the power of love and humor. And I'll give you a couple of examples. When I was a medical student, I was in the emergency room, and a family's child was brought in dead from an accident. When I was in training, never once did the male doctors ever mention the word love, ever mention the word compassion, ever mention anything to do with actual human exchange of something other than information and procedure. They did that very well. It was such a wrong direction. So I had no training as another male doctor who was supposed to follow in those footsteps to what to do with this family. You know, I can tell them the child will go to the morgue and that maybe you need a prescription for a medicine to help you sleep. Completely ignoring that they just lost their child. They're weeping and they're going, well, maybe you need a sleeping pill for the sleeping and we'll be sure to take care of all the... So what did they teach me? Call the nurse, which means call the woman. They know how to deal with humanity. But I said, no, I'm not going to call a woman, a nurse. I'm going to be that. What do I have? One, I can have kind eyes. I can have a face that tells them something. Like my mother's face told me something. I have my hands to reach out and touch them. Then what do I have? What are the words to say? No education. The doctors didn't know the words. So I went to where it was easiest. I saw the family were Baptists, Christians. I'm not a Christian, but I know Christ. And I said, do you mind if we pray? They were shocked. The doctor said we would pray. I went down on my knees. I held my hands together and took all of my mother's love and what that meant, and it came out the metaphor of Christ's love with all the sincerity. For over 10 years, this family wrote me how that moment changed how they felt about their child's death in the power of love, in the form of the power of faith. From then on, when I was with a Buddhist patient, I was a sincere Buddhist. When I was with a Christian, a Christian. When I was with an atheist, an atheist. I only needed to know...
Como Walt Whitman. Como Walt.
Yeah, whatever. And so I started, much like a doctor collects a kind of pharmacy or a kind of treatment, I collected ideas and things that helped address suffering. I already knew humor and love were the big ones. Wonder, curiosity, poetry, music, they were helpers of love and humor. Love and humor were the great masters. And so I started adding that more and more. I started carrying toys in the pockets of my doctor's gown. And let's go many years later, when I started to take clowns to very poor countries that had no pain medicine.